Is your ex making your life miserable? Are they talking bad about you to other people? Are they always trying to start a fight? Maybe spreading lies online? I know this feels really horrible, but it can actually be a good thing if you're hoping to get back together with them. Because it's more likely a sign that they still have feelings for you rather than a sign that they're truly angry at you. So today I'm going to explain why your ex is starting drama, what it means, and how you can use this information to your advantage. I'm of course Brad Browning, author of The X Factor and YouTube's favorite breakup coach for almost 15 years now. I've helped tens of thousands get a second chance, and I would love to help you as well. So please subscribe, like this video, and leave me a comment if you feel so inclined. But now let's talk about your ex's mindset right now. Now, I do want to say that I'm not trying to excuse their actions, but it is useful to try to understand their side because it can help you to diffuse the situation. So first off, obviously this all depends on the specifics of your particular breakup. Now I'm guessing if you are in this position that it was probably pretty messy. You probably had a big fight or two or 10, and I'm also guessing that you both did and said things that you probably wish you hadn't. Of course, breakups can be pretty explosive, but now that you've officially split, why does your ex keep coming back for more? Typically, we regret these mistakes and we just want the dust to settle so we can either communicate with a clear head or just move on with our lives. But if your ex is still coming back around, begging for a fight, then you know that there's something else going on here. So here are the reasons that your ex may be starting drama after the breakup. First, I will say that it's likely your ex isn't aware that this is why they're acting this way. This is almost always a subconscious process, and it's pretty typical to have a lot of denial when it comes to our exes and our romantic relationships generally. And on top of that, your ex will probably be starting drama for likely more than one reason on this list. But let's get into it now with reason number one, which is that they're genuinely still upset. Now, as much as I'm sure you'd like to, you can't just dismiss all drama created by your ex as some plea for attention. The truth is that your ex probably has some legitimate gripes with you. So if the relationship ended because you were exhibiting some toxic behavior like cheating, lying, stealing, yelling, abuse, really anything otherwise hurtful, then chances are that your ex is still upset about it, especially if you never apologized. So if this is the case, then they're probably coming at you to try to talk about it. I'm sure that they're not doing this in the best way possible, but they're extremely upset because of your behavior, and so they're lashing out. So just don't dismiss your ex as crazy. And while some people do have crazy exes, I think most people just have exes who are hurt. But again, this is only one of the many reasons that your ex might start drama post-breakup. And the second is that they simply miss talking to you. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that breaking up can feel very isolating. It can be hard to talk to your friends and family about this stuff. You don't want to bring anyone down or appear weak. And so it's easy to isolate yourself. And on top of that, you no longer have your partner to talk to because you broke up, so you feel totally alone and cut off. And that could be why your ex might be reaching out to you just to start drama. So why wouldn't they just, reach out to you for a normal chat? Well, they're still mad at you, and so they struggle to just pretend that things are normal. And they also worry that if they speak to you, then the two of you are in danger of just falling back into old patterns and getting back together. So really, they know that speaking to you is a bad idea because they'll either cave and get back together or lash out at you in anger. But their desire to speak to you is so strong that they really can't resist this pull. This is one of the reasons that I say that your ex starting drama can actually be a good sign for your chances of getting them back. And now on to number three, they want attention. Breakups can make people feel worthless. And to counteract this, some people will seek attention so that they can feel like they're important. So if they're reaching out to you directly, just to tell you how mad they are and how toxic you are, then chances are they're just looking for attention from you. And this is common if your conversations have fizzled out since the breakup, or if you've gone no contact with them. They might feel like their only way to get you to notice them and have a real conversation is to lash out in anger and provoke an argument. But on the other hand, if your ex is bad-mouthing you to mutual friends, posting about it online, or involving other people in any way, then chances are this is a plea for attention from the wider community. This is less of a positive sign if you do want them back, because they're less focused on you and more focused on just being noticed. Number four, they want to hurt you. Now this is what you're probably most worried about, but honestly don't worry because it's not very common. Sometimes your ex will genuinely want to hurt you after the breakup. There are many reasons why this happens. Maybe they want to just get even for your perceived mistakes. But most often, I think that people do this because of a psychological principle called splitting. This is kind of a black and white thinking that leads people to think in extremes. It's difficult to conceive of another person in a nuanced way. So your ex thought of you as someone good, who they loved and cared about, and now that you're a source of pain for them, it's hard for them to maintain that good image of you. So a part of their brain goes, this is a bad person. They hurt me, they're toxic, and they deserve to be hurt in return. Essentially, you're not an angel, so they're making you the devil. And people who tend to think this way, they tend to be pretty socially immature. They think in very black and white terms, and they're very prone to feeling like they were wronged. So if your ex is always getting into disagreements, cutting people off, or lashing out, then chances are this is what's going on. It is unfortunate, but once in a while, it does happen. Number 5, they were keeping a lot inside. So often a relationship ends with a single huge blowout fight. This is when you both say mean things about the other person. You let out all the anger and resentment that build up during the relationship. But sometimes, for whatever reason, that doesn't happen. Maybe the breakup was too sudden, or maybe one of you ran away from the conflict. Or maybe it did happen, but there's just so much more that they were keeping inside that they really want to talk about. Whatever their reason, they want to talk more about what bothered them in the relationship. They didn't feel like you heard them, and so they want to tell you, how they really feel and see what you have to say in response. Now, this can look a lot like starting drama, and sometimes it is that simple, but sometimes they really, truly just want to clear the air. So if your ex was somebody who always swept things under the rug and kept their feelings inside, this is probably all that stuff coming out. I don't think this is the best way for your ex to be handling their feelings, but when have people ever acted in their own best interests after a breakup? And on to number 6, they want an apology. So if your ex is calling you up and bringing up mistakes you made in the past or during the breakup, and you never owned up to what you did, then chances are they're fishing for an apology. Again, I would say that this isn't the time for this, but please don't try telling them that. They feel disrespected, hurt, and put down, and so they want you to acknowledge that and apologize. Now, this one is another good sign for your chances. Because, while sometimes they just want you to apologize so they can have closure and move on, often it's a sign that they're actually still invested in the relationship. They want you to apologize so that they can forgive you because they don't want to be mad with you. They want to be with you, or at least back on a path to reconciliation. But should you actually apologize to them? Well, the answer to that is going to depend on the context for sure. If you did something that truly messed up and you haven't apologized yet, then apologizing can be a good idea. It helps to clear the air so that your ex, isn't stewing with those negative feelings. But when things are more complicated and you don't truly feel like you did anything worse than what they did, or you did it in response to their mistakes that they won't apologize for, in that situation, then I would recommend you hold off on the apology for now. It can actually help your ex justify their negative feelings towards you. And that's actually the next reason that they're going to start drama, which is number 7, they want to win the breakup. Many people see breakups as having, a winner and a loser. I think we all feed into this phenomenon with the way that we generally talk about breakups. We always want to know what happened. Did someone cheat? Was the other person a loser? Were they mistreating their partner? When in reality, most breakups have no winner and no loser. They're typically caused by an issue of incompatibility. They're messy and they're complicated. So we want to try to break it down to winner and loser so that it's easier to digest. And it's for that reason that your ex may start drama following the breakup. They want you to apologize, lash out in return and say something horrible, or admit to some huge secret that'll make you look bad. And if you do that, then it can turn the tide. It'll make you look bad, and since people see these things in simple terms, that'll make them look good. Simple as that. And number 8, you're provoking them. So if you're the one reaching out to your ex, then this might be the real source of the drama. If you call your ex up and try to have a conversation with them after they've made it clear that they don't want to talk to you, then it shouldn't be a surprise if they say something harsh and cruel. They think this is the only way to get the space that they need. It doesn't matter if you're being perfectly pleasant and polite, you're still at fault here because you're not respecting your ex's boundaries. And on top of that, you may be doing more to provoke them than you actually think. So look back at these fights and how you were talking to your ex. It can be very tricky to have a conversation with your ex post-breakup. You can't just talk to them the way that you used to when you were in a relationship. You're forced to create a whole new dynamic, and this is when people run into trouble. They shut down and go quiet. Or they act, too friendly, too affectionate, and otherwise just pretend like the relationship never ended. Any of this can provoke your ex to lash out at you. I'm not saying that they'd be right to do so, but it is a natural response if they feel like you're being fake or like you become a whole new person overnight. Now, if you're struggling on getting distance from your ex, I'd be happy to help you. Go to breakupbrad.com/coaching after the video and we can start working together today. I'm always here to listen and help you work out a strategy to win your ex back, no matter how bad the drama has become. Again, get all the details and sign up today at breakupbrad.com/coaching. And number 9, they want to prevent you from replacing them. So if your ex is starting drama, it could be more calculated than it seems. They might be doing this to prevent you from moving on and finding somebody new. If they're doing this online or through friends, then there's a very clear tactic at play here. They think that if they can talk enough smack about you, people will turn against you in the community. You'll be radioactive. No one will want to talk to you, much less date you. If that happens, then they can have you back anytime they want. And you might say, well, they don't want me back, I've tried. And that might be true, but that doesn't mean that they want to watch you move on either. It hurts to see an ex with somebody new, even when you're not interested in getting back together. But I'd also say that you shouldn't be too sure that they're over you and they don't want you back. They might not jump at the chance to get back together with you this instant, but that makes sense, doesn't it? They're hurt, they're embarrassed, and they're mad at you. They're still recovering from the breakup and trying to sort out their feelings, so they're not likely to give you another chance right now. But as I've said, their insistence on starting drama most likely means that you do have a better chance than you think. Because it means that they're still thinking about you, they're still obsessing over the breakup, they're still invested in you and your place in their life. So how can you use this to your advantage? You need to be careful here, because your ex's drama represents a huge minefield for you. If you walk into it without a plan, you're going to end up setting off a chain reaction that's going to push them away for good. So that's why you want to do the complete opposite. You're not going to engage with your ex's drama at all, not in any form. If they text you something negative and inflammatory, don't respond. If they keep calling you up late at night to yell at you, don't answer. And if they're talking shit about you online, don't comment on it. You really can't make yourself look better by defending yourself in these situations, because it only makes you look more guilty. And the same goes for talking bad about them online or to friends. It just makes you look bitter and petty, the way that it's making them look. So you want to stick to the facts and avoid getting into this territory, or you're just going to keep the cycle going. If there are 2 people going through a breakup and one is posting a bunch of negative stuff about the other, most people look at that and think that the one who's posting is the one in the wrong. Especially if you're playing it cool and you're not engaging in the drama. And that really is your play here. Keep your distance. Don't engage and work on yourself and your life. In a month, you're going to be thriving and your ex will just be getting to the point of feeling embarrassed for starting any kind of drama. They'll wind up feeling ashamed and missing you more than ever, especially when they see how much you're killing it without them. And that's when you can reach out and start reconnecting with them. Trust me when I say there is no benefit to engaging with your ex's drama. The only path forward is to turn away and focus on yourself. If you can do that, you're setting yourself up for the best possible chance of getting your ex back. And that just about does it for this one, guys. I appreciate all your views, your comments, your likes. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.